Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. There's no astrology in these, so watch them for all three so that you get to understand which part of you I resonate with more as a reader. With that said, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That's just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your overarching energy message or your key to the week, you have, and just a quick note, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. Oh, nice. Okay, and just a quick note to say, if you're not in the Radiant Nation Facebook group, you may be missing out. All right, so you can get the link to join that is on the link in the description box below, and it will be lovely to see you there and see what you've got to say about some of the discussions that we're going to be opening up. So you have the Magician card as your key to the week. This is wonderful for you because the Magician card is your ruling planet of Mercury. Now, yes, I know I said there was no astrology in these, and there isn't, I promise, but that being said, it is worth noting the correspondence, right? So what this tells me is this week in all of these different sectors of your life, you are ready for a level up. This is in some way, shape or form. There is a moment of a boss up that you are kind of ready to embark on. Now, it does suggest that you will need to lead from the front. You'll need to be in it to win it, as they say. And the chances are you probably will need to buckle something up to kind of really, this is kind of like a moment where you're pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and you're starting again with something, but you're bossing it up. It's not like a, you know, like if you've ever seen Pitch Perfect, this is the moment where they get serious about stuff and she says, let's remix this business, right? So this is kind of that moment for you guys, and I'm very excited to see it. For your actions and options, you have the World card, right? With the Magician, I mean, look, not only is this powerful and advanced level kind of alchemy that's taking place, in some way, shape or form, this week you are ready to make a serious move. You're ready to make a serious commitment. And that serious commitment, it might only be a decision that you make on the internal, but it's going to have far-reaching ripples that possibly, potentially go far out into your future. What I love most about this is those results are going to show up in a very tangible way on the real world stage. Now, in terms of the options that are available to you, the only option that all of us want in some way, shape or form is advancement. And what this tells me is it's absolutely there for you. This is really, really powerful stuff because it means that you are starting with the right foot and you are ready to collect the results and the rewards. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Knight of Wands, which suggests that communications are going to be fiery this week. Woe betide the person that tries to go toe to toe with a Virgo when it comes to a wordsmith battle, because most of the time they will just destroy your argument with straight up facts. I've said it before, right? The earth signs, when they want to read you, they will just deal with the facts. The same thing with the air signs, right? That's the one sort of commonality I think that they have. Fire signs tend to be a bit more in your face. The water signs will do it through emotions, but the earth signs and the air signs, boy, they will read your ass to filth, okay? You've got the Knight of Wands, which means you are passionate about a subject. There's something here that you believe very deeply in this week that you will go for, that you will fight for, that you will show up for, and it's like you're not backing down. This looks like a good thing, but it just looks like your conversation this week, you could come across as quite forceful, but, you know, probably in a good way. It's like you're ready to steer the ship in some way, shape or form, and you are meeting the challenges head on, right? For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this sees you taking things to a new level, but it also sees you either making a new connection with a very powerful person, or it sees you standing up in that level of education in a way where people kind of look at you and go, Whoa, like, you know what? Like, I think you just crossed the threshold of being a student and sort of elevated into being a master, or at least a peer. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this I actually think is you getting very vocal about how much you do within your work sphere and what that should look like for you in terms of rewards, recompense, benefits, all that kind of stuff. This is you really speaking up on your own behalf, and I love to see it. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is a great card for business owners, because this is a go get 'em card. And with this kind of energy that surrounds you, this is you potentially connecting to somebody who can really advance your business. But also in the back of all of this, there's you enhancing your own. It's kind of like, you know, when the superhero takes to a knee, when, you know, when Superman drops to a knee, or when Iron Man puts his suit on, or when, you know, Batman puts his gloves on, you know, business is about to happen, right? This is very much that kind of week for you. So when I say this, it might not be the biggest thing that shows up, the hugest blessings and all the rest of it. This may just be the week where you say, right, I'm going to get fucking serious about this. I'm going to put my gloves on. I'm going to get my cape on. It's time to do this shit. This is about you getting, like, you are not playing games. I'm like, we get some of this Virgo energy up in here. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I actually think this is you guys leveling up a skill. So let's say you take Tai Chi or yoga or Taekwondo, or maybe, I don't know, you know, sushi making, whatever the case might be, whatever your hobbies or endeavors, the things that you love to do that you're spending time on, you go up a class this week. It's like you elevate in some level. It might even just be, especially for those of you that are retired and no longer working, or for those of you that are studying, you know, you have that moment when you're studying, you have that moment with something where you go, ah, and it all clicks, and then suddenly you just start to absolutely boss it. This is that week, right? Now, for your love and relations, you've got the Four of Pentacles. This I actually love to see, especially because of the World card here. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, it looks like the sexy time is going to be great. But more importantly than that, this looks like you and your partner get back to the same level. You get back to that even keel where it's like, okay, you know what? We're ready to do this again as a collective. Now, it is the Four of Pentacles, so I will say don't focus too much on the material side of things. Make sure that the internal, the spiritual, the emotional, etc. is also tended to. But I really do like this. Now, when it comes to those of you that are single, if you are single and looking and ready to mingle, this week could be very good for you. I will say the person that you're connecting to might be very, very, they might be not materialistic, but they might be a bit more mundane than you are. If you're a Virgo and you're watching this, you're clearly at least somewhat spiritual because you're watching a tarot reading. The person that you find or that you connect with might be quite, not anti all of this, but just like, oh, okay, well, you do you. It doesn't speak to me, but it is what it is. And that's okay. Sometimes that's how it works. Sometimes that's what you need. And I have sworn the next partner that I have is going to be that partner. Right? Like, I don't want anyone that does what I do or is into what I do or whatever. Like, I need someone that is... Yeah, anyway, I digress. This isn't about me. It's about you. For your money and materials, you've got the Hanged Man. First of all, when it comes to sales, as in someone trying to sell you something, hold back this week. Second, when it comes to big purchases that you're planning, this might also be a good week to hang back, unless you are spending money on resurfacing, rebranding, reupholstering. If you're doing something like that, then yes, spend the money. But if you're looking to purchase something brand new and it's a large item or a big spend, not this week. All right. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, I mean, look, you've got this with the Magician card and the Hanged Man. So I'm going to say this. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. That's not what this is. It's not a diagnosis. However, this week, if you find you're having problems or issues or any kind of symptoms, there's a misfiring in your mental / electrical signaling. and your hormone system. Something is overactive or underactive. There's like a miscommunication that's happening within your body. And that's where, if you're going to a doctor and stuff, ask them to have a look at those kinds of things, because you're likely to find something here, and it could very well be due to inflammation. Now, I touch wood, for a very select few of you, it may not necessarily be your health. This might be someone else's health, and it may possibly show up as meningitis. I've got a million reasons for that. I don't have time to go into them here, but if certain symptoms show up this week, get whoever it is checked out for that first and foremost. Well, not first and foremost, but you know what I mean, like make that a priority to check for as well. Finally, when it comes to your home and environment, this might be a time to start really getting acquainted with the spirit of your home. All right, if you've been with me long enough, you know I name every single home that I've ever lived in. I've dreamt every single home that I've ever lived in before I've lived there, since I was a child. And that is not a lie. Like, that is, not that I lie about stuff like that, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm being 100 with you. Every home I've ever lived in, I have dreamt before I lived there. Home and the spirit of home is something that's a very important phenomena to me in my life. And this is telling me that you need to get acquainted with yours for any number of reasons. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.